Welcome back. Jaguars postgame continues. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor today after a Jaguars win 23-17 over the Indianapolis Colts. Seventh straight victory for the Jags to improve to a record of 12-4. The division comes down to next week. A Jags win or a Texans loss would send the Jaguars to the division title in the AFC South. We're standing by with head coach Liam Cohen visiting with the media. He'll step down the hallway and catch up with Bucky Brooks. We'll have that conversation for you live coming up. Liam Cohen, now the first NFL coach to inherit a 4-win team and win 12 games or more the following season. Huge turnaround for this Jaguars team and organization, and not even through year number 1 yet. Week 18 to come in the playoff run, hopefully after that, certainly. And but boy, they've won a lot of different ways this year. But going on the road down 10 to this team today, it just felt like they had moved the ball and they kind of shot themselves in the foot a couple times. They had the deep turnovers, giveaways, and the Colts cashed in a couple of those. And long kickoff returns, short fields. It was self-inflicted issues today.
Yeah, that was going to be the way that the Colts were going to beat you. You're going to have to turn it over in their end, probably, or maybe in your own end, and they get a couple of short field scores that way. Jags moved the ball very well right from the outset and just didn't convert. And really, the first play felt so unnecessary. They were just moving it, doing their basic offense, and they tried a little trickery. Etienne still caught the pitch back, but nevertheless. And then Trevor, you got 3 automatic on the board. You can't throw those end zone interceptions. Now, he's been great of late, so we'll allow him a mistake there. But overall, that's what kept the Indianapolis Colts in this football game, JP, in addition to going for it on 4th down and coming up short. So, look, I get being aggressive, and it worked out for the Jags. And in the end, that's all that really matters. They win it by 6 points, but they could have put this game away a lot earlier today, I feel.
Trevor Lawrence today finishing 23 of 37, 263. He had the interception, but also had 2 rushing scores. And his ability on the ground lately has been huge in this offense's surge towards the end of the regular season. So Trevor Lawrence leading the way on the offensive side. Parker Washington over 100 yards again as well, receiving. All part of a great all-around team effort today. They overcame some mistakes early, battled for 60 minutes, got the win on the road. And the head coach interview is presented by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. Let's head back to the locker room in Indianapolis. Bucky Brooks with head coach Liam Cohen.
Coach, we don't apologize for wins around here. Talk about a gritty, not pretty win.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes in this league. It's not easy to win in this league, especially on the road, in division. A team that, just found out that they weren't going to be playing much more football after next week, and so they got not much to lose. And we knew, that's a team that, people thought was a Super Bowl contender for a long time. That's a talented football team and a well-coached football team. So they've been, hit with the injury bug a little bit, and we had some guys out, sick, this, that, all week. And look, hard to go on the road and win in this league. Mm-hmm. And when you turn it over in the red zone, that's what's going to happen. And we're lucky to overcome it, but we also outplayed them in every other asset.
Talk about that, Coach, because the red zone turnovers have been something that we kind of eliminated. We had some of those.
Yeah.
But even as bad as it may appear in the first half, at halftime it seemed like a very confident team when you took to it that we could just take care of business.
That's right. That was the message. We had the one, we try to hook and ladder. You have maybe a touchdown. We don't execute it. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that much more. Okay? And then right before the half, losing those points were big. Trevor's trying to make a one-on-one throw to Parker on a linebacker, and he just kind of left it inside. And so you lose points there. That's a 7 or 3-point swing from that standpoint. So we knew we were moving the ball offensively at will at times and doing a great job. Trevor was seeing it, getting us in and out of the right checks. They were zeroing us a ton, giving us a lot of different kind of looks. I thought our guys handled it well. And then, statistically, it was everything but the red zone, in turnovers. So
yeah, a dominant performance going in. Now, Coach, there were some questions about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. There's a penalty. You declined the penalty. The clock didn't run. Can you kind of explain the situation?
Yeah. So the new set of downs does not help you. That's not going to help you. So it's 2nd and 1. You think that you're going to be able to gain a yard, right? Which then makes them burn another timeout, and now you got a new set of downs.
Right.
So that's the whole point. If you go and take it, what's 1st and 10 going to do for you with that down? Make them burn it on 2nd and 1 because you can gain a yard.
Okay.
And now you've got a new set of downs, and now you put more pressure on them. If you just go and accept that, they did that on purpose.
Yes.
So everybody knows. They jumped on purpose. They're trying to get you to do that. So because the downs don't. Exactly. It doesn't do anything.
Now, was the clock supposed to run the game clock after that, or is it because it didn't? The play clock went,
that's
but
right.
the game clock didn't run down. So I didn't know if there was a.
They didn't explain any of that to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Last thing, how do we take the momentum? Like a lot of things to clean up over practice and those things, but how do we build upon this effort to get ready to potentially win a division next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at a lot of good things. Like there's a lot of good football being played out there. A lot of guys making plays. And competing at a high level. And we knew that this would be a challenging game. We didn't think we were going to walk in here and just boat race these guys. So going on the road and winning no matter what is a challenge. And then you go back to home, back in Duval, and let's go. We got the division on the road. Here we go, man.
It should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to see it next week.
Thank you.
Head coach Liam Cohen with Bucky Brooks in Indianapolis after Jaguars win 23-17. Plenty ahead. We're back in a moment. After a Jaguars victory in Indianapolis, Jags are now 12-4, 7 straight wins. Third time the Jaguars have had 12 or more wins in their history. The first time since the 2005 season. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank. Advantage you. Member FDIC. And the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
My husband, Steve, was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They only gave him months to live. That was years ago. Now, he's out there, under the tree. Nature photography is his thing. And apparently, so is catching poison ivy.
Oof, so itchy. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Dad, light's green.
Oh, right.
Oh, what fun it is to save on the entire Toyota lineup at Toyotathon. Get $1,000 holiday bonus cash on certain new Toyota vehicles. Offer valid through January 5th, 2026. Offer entitles $1,000 holiday bonus cash on the retail purchase or lease of certain new and untitled 2025 and 2026 Toyota vehicles. This offer is valid when combined with special APR and special lease programs or with standard retailer lease rate programs. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect.
When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it.
You make power plays.
Aim for fences. And go for end zones.
You believe that your moment is now.
At Farah and Farah, we deliver game day energy 24/7.
If you've been injured, put our force to work for you. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, no Fred Taylor today. Jaguars win in Indy 23-17. Jags are now 12-4. They've won 7 straight and 8 of 9 since the Week 8 bye, and they are a win or a Texans loss away from the division title. It all comes down to Week 18. The Jaguars host the Titans. The game time and day most likely will be at the same time since both games affect each other. So expect it to be on Sunday. It's the guess here because there's only 2 games on Saturday and they're not at the same time. So either at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock on Sunday, the official time, you could probably expect during Sunday Night Football tonight. At least that's the tradition. They'll put out the schedule for Week 18 during tonight's game.
Yeah, they'll undoubtedly have them playing on Sunday because that's what they do now. They make sure that nobody has an advantage knowing what they need to do. Nobody is able to rest players if they have something to play for. So that's what the NFL wants, and that's what the NFL will get, and that makes the most sense as well. There's some interesting games that could going down next week. I mean, Pittsburgh losing to Cleveland. That's an all or nothing in the AFC North, and it could be the same in the NFC West as well. San Francisco wins tonight.
NFC South is going to come down to the final week,
NFC
too.
South, that's right, because Carolina lost and the Bucs both lost today. So that's a head-to-head, I believe, in Week 18. So, look, it all comes down to just beat Tennessee, who, by the way, played competitive football again, looking to win another one out there today against the New Orleans Saints, and they led the majority of that game before they finally let it get away. But look, the bottom line is the Jags did what they needed to do today to leave control in their own hands, to get to 13 wins, JP, to flip the record entirely from 4-13 to 13-4 in the first season of Liam Cohen. And yes, and I heard the Texans talking about it this week as after the game, saying that their season turned around when they when the Jags let the Texans come back in the fourth quarter of that game. I think the Jags season turned around at that point, too. I think the Jags realized at that point just how good they were capable of being, and that they were not going to let themselves have that feeling again if they had any say in it, and they haven't lost since.
Well, they've been fantastic since then. So have the Texans, by the way.
And neither one's lost.
Nobody's
since
lost.
that matchup.
So it turned both seasons around. By the way, we heard Antonio Johnson talking about, hey, we're going to sell out and stop the run. Well, they didn't in the first half, and they certainly did after that. Jonathan Taylor at halftime had 12 carries for 51 yards. He finished with 21 carries for 70 yards.
That's right.
Second half, that was the priority.
Yeah, and it needed to be. I mean, it was coming way too easy in the first half of that football game. You had all these different things going on with the turnovers and the Jags not capitalizing on scoring opportunities. And here was Taylor moving along, and Phillip Rivers was throwing it pretty efficiently. And it just felt like, as Liam Cohen alluded to, if we just don't beat ourselves here, we got plenty going on. We're moving the ball. Let's just stay within ourselves. And they did, and they were able to come back and eventually take the lead and hold on.
Phillip Rivers finishes 17 of 30 passing, 147 through the air, a touchdown and an interception as well. He did not have it was Riley Leonard that came on for the final Hail Mary throw with the bigger arm, and he had an interception as well on his only attempt of the game. But, there were moments there. It's like, okay, they're not going to push it more than 15 or 20 yards down the field because he physically can't do that.
Right.
That was the realization, certainly, once the early part of this game got going.
He kind of I think he played his best game, obviously, on Monday night, right?
Yeah.
He came out and he threw it around. The first game, he looked terrible. This was somewhere kind of in the middle. And if this was the middle of the season and he had 8 more games to play, this is about what I would expect out of Phillip Rivers, right? Throwing for around 150 to 200 yards, something like that. Maybe he gets a touchdown. Maybe he turns it over once, but he can't hit the big chunk plays. And the Jags, on the few occasions when he tried to beat them over the top, were able to get their hands on the football, break it up. Thinking of one in particular with Monteric, with Alec Pierce. And, fortunately for the Jags, that was enough. But, again, a good, solid team effort. Like Logan Cook's punts average. He had 2 punts. They averaged way over 60. Cam Little made all his kicks. Now, coverage on kickoffs was an issue today. I mean, big time. And, quite frankly, I think a lot of teams later in the season are going to the methodology of just kicking it through the back of the end zone. They don't want their game swung on a big return. And I get it, over the course of the season, you think more times than not we can stop them inside the 35. But I think as you get deeper now, take that option away from another team. If you don't think they can consistently drive it 65 yards to stick it in the end zone on you, why not put it through the back of the end zone?
Plenty ahead. We're back with the defensive play of the game, and the Jaguars get the job done in Indianapolis, 23-17, 7th straight win for the Jaguars, and it's Jaguars post-game on Jaguars Radio.
Federal employees keep our country going, and G.E.H.A. is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. G.E.H.A. was started by postal employees in 1937, and today they offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. G.E.H.A. is trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country. G.E.H.A. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
RingCentral's AI receptionist uses voice AI to answer on the first ring, so you'll never miss a call again. In just a few minutes, you can personalize your own AI receptionist to answer questions, route calls, schedule appointments, and even send texts in multiple languages. Plus, it's easy to scale. Create unlimited AI receptionists across any phone system. It's all powered by one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
I'm Foye Oluwakin from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or under the influence is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. Remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead. Have a designated driver or get a ride home. Keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Jags fans, this season make your game day even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium, and then you can enjoy even more with the Al's Pizza Pickoff promo after the game. When the Jaguars get 2 interceptions in one game, you'll score 50% off one pizza, any size you want, for 48 hours after the game. Just tell them you want the Jags Pick promo when you order. Up your game and your pizza with Al's at the stadium or any of their 5 locations.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Jaguars post game presented by G.E.H.A. continues. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from Hyundai Studios. No Fred Taylor today. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. We mentioned some of the win and in scenarios around the league. There is another note in the NFC South. If the Bucs beat the Panthers next week, Tampa wins the NFC South, right? Unless the Falcons win out, it would be a 3-way 8-9 tie and would give the tiebreaker in the division to Carolina, which is wild. That's a lot.
Carolina could get in with a loss, much like the Jags could as the division champ if Houston were to lose next week.
All that, but they need the Falcons to win, too.
Right.
So there's
but
a lot.
If Carolina wins that game, then they're fine.
It's done, yeah.
Right.
So there you go. That's just a note there.
And Atlanta would have to then beat the Rams on Monday Night Football. I'm thinking probably not.
Maybe
because that's happening, tomorrow.
Right.
So it's probably going to be head-to-head for the division.
Trevor Lawrence at the podium in Indianapolis visiting with the media. We listen in live through Jaguars.com.
And then be able to close the game out, ideally, on our terms as an offense there. But I thought there were some positives, but the biggest positive is just finding a way to win. It's hard to win. That's a good team. I mean, you look at their season, obviously the last few weeks haven't gone the way they want them to, but it's still a really good team that's hard to beat. So, hats off to them. They had a good plan for us today. They came after us a little bit, and we adjusted well and made plays when we needed to, and our defense really, stepped up and made some huge stops.
Steps up for the AFC South next week.
Yeah.
Tennessee. Think you'd be here at this point?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's where obviously it's a long season to play, and you never know exactly how it's going to play out, but we have all the confidence in the world in our locker room that it should be us. So we got to go and finish the job next week. We need our fans to come out and support and make it a great atmosphere, tough atmosphere to play in for Tennessee. And obviously it's a huge game, division game against the Titans to win the AFC South. I mean, it's huge. So we know what we got to do, and we got to have a great week of prep and put a good plan together.
We've been playing really well the past month, 5 weeks or so. A little bit of a loaded question. When you're playing the way that you are right now, are you guys the best team in the AFC?
I mean, it's I'll just say we have all the confidence in ourselves that when we play well and we execute, we can beat anybody. So And that's all you can ask for. Who cares? Who thinks who's the best team? This, that. We'll get to prove it. Come next week, first of all, and then in the playoffs. We'll all get our shot at one another, and you keep winning, you keep playing. So don't really have an answer for that, but I know we have a lot of confidence in our locker room.
What about what Travis was able to do today, and then also third 1,000-yard seasons for you?
It's awesome. I think it's just a testament to one, the type of player he is, but the work he puts in. It's been fun just playing with him all these years and to see him grow and change over time and develop, and just our relationship's really cool. So really proud of him. Obviously the last few weeks, it's been kind of a grind getting the run game going, and he's just kept his head down, kept working. The guys up front, same thing, shuffling the line around. Those guys stepped up. I mean, how about the job they're doing? New guys playing and protecting well. We're moving the line of scrimmage. We ran it better today. I mean, so it's just it takes everybody, and just proud of Travis for, like I said, keeping his head down, going to work every week.
Trevor, is there a sense that the standard's been raised to the point where there's almost a little frustration at times in that football game, even though you've come away with a W?
Yeah, a ton of frustration. Not now, I guess, because you win, and that's what you have to enjoy the wins, because that's you put in all this work to win games, and it's not always pretty. And I think it can be looked at as a positive. Is last few weeks we've been in control of a lot of these games and haven't necessarily had to just go win it at the end. And today we had to do that. It's a tight game. We had to make some plays. Defense had to have some huge stops, and they did it. So I think it's all good for your team to learn and grow, and obviously more fun to learn and grow from wins. So we'll take that, and we got to get better. We didn't play our best today, but it is frustrating, especially throughout the game when you leave a lot of points out there. You end some drives and turnovers when you have a lot of momentum and there's plays there. That play before the half, throwing an interception there. I feel like I should have just made a better throw and hit Parker for the touchdown, but you give away 3 points there, give them some momentum. So there's a lot of things that we need to clean up, and I know we will.
That's the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, with the media in Indianapolis. The full press conference live right now on the Jaguars YouTube page. The Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game goes to Jarian Jones with the interception on the third play of an Indy drive with the Jaguars and Colts in a tie game, and it set up a short field. The Jaguars took the lead off that with a field goal and then added a field goal later, but the Jarian Jones interception is the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Final stats when we come back. Brian Sexton will join us as well. Jaguars win in Indy 23-17. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. continues. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, no Fred Taylor today. We're at the Hyundai Studios. Brian Sexton joining us now.
Hello.
And welcome in. After Jags win 23-17, Jags now 12-4. They've won 7 straight, 8 of 9 since the Week 8 bye week. First 12-win season since 2005, and only the third time in franchise history they've had 12 or more wins. The job's not done yet. They've got to host Tennessee next week. And either a win or a Texans loss or tie, and the Jaguars are champs.
Second longest winning streak in franchise history. 7, right?
Pretty impressive.
The longest since 99 when they won 11. And I'll give you one. The Jaguars have a chance next week to win their 5th AFC South game. Only 3 times in the history of the division have they even won 4. So, they're in a position with Liam Cohen where they're just knocking down barriers that had stopped this team. And let's be honest, there was a moment today where I thought, this feels like the Jaguars. And then it didn't.
No, I definitely think it's a different team. But, I mean, the end zone interception.
That's when it felt like the Jaguars.
Right. I'm sure it did, right? And honestly, I felt like they thought they were playing with their food a little bit early on. Like, we're just going to move this ball down the field. We're going to call a hook and lateral here. And, Liam says it might have gone for a touchdown. That's not the way I saw it. I thought there was a guy who clearly had Etienne in his sights, ready to deliver the blow. But regardless.
I have to go back and watch it. It looked to me like Etienne was going to have a chance to make a play on it.
Yeah,
but he took his eyes off.
I thought the defender was going to have him. But either way,
right.
Do you need that at that point on the opening drive when you're just marching it right down the field on them? So
no, that's a good description, playing with their food, because they just move the ball up and down the field all day, and Phillip Rivers was pretty much powerless to stop him. To do anything to counter them. So yeah, there was a little bit of that, and then all of a sudden, here comes Jarian Jones, 4th quarter interception that becomes a game-defining interception for the 2nd straight week. And by the way, we talked about the absence of Jordan Lewis. Monteric Brown played a whale of a ball game. Alec Pierce was targeted 5 times. He had 0 catches, and I booked Monteric for 4 PBUs, pass broken up, against number 14 today.
Yeah, he had the one that got through him and Josh Downs dropped, right? Initially, they called that a pass breakup. So he was all around the football, and he's played fantastic, really, the second half of the season.
Yeah. Listen, he's a guy who has had a chip on the shoulder since he came in here a few years ago. He led the SEC when he was at Arkansas with 5 picks and was a 7th-round draft choice, and he's never let go of that. And I kind of appreciate that about him, because I thought on a day that you were playing without Jordan Lewis, he was probably the best guy in the secondary for you consistently today.
Time now for an Everbank stats check. We'll take a look at the team statistics first. Total yardage in favor of the Jaguars, 370 to 204. Rushing yardage, 121 on the ground for the Jags today, only 69 for Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor had 51 rushing yards at halftime, and not much in the second half, only 19 in the second half of play in this game. Passing net, 249 for the Jags, 135 for Indy. Third downs, Jags 7 of 14, Indy only 4 of 11 on third. Penalties, 6 for 55 against the Jags, 5 for 45 against Indy. 2 turnovers for each side in the game, including the Hail Mary pick at the end. Jags held the ball for 2 minutes longer than Indianapolis, 32 minutes, 19 seconds in the game. Team statistics, Jaguars overcame a couple of turnovers early and figured out a way to get it done by stopping the run.
All right. Individually, Trevor Lawrence, 23 out of 37, 263, averaged 7.1 per attempt. Didn't throw a TD today, had 1 interception, so his passer rating is only 72.2. His total QBR would be a lot better, as he ran it 8 times for 26 yards and a pair of Jaguar touchdowns as well. Phillip Rivers, 17 to 30, 147, a touchdown and a pick in this game. Each quarterback was sacked twice. Rivers' passer rating, 66.9. Jonathan Taylor got off to the hot start, but it was Travis Etienne who ended up the leading rusher in this game. 17 carries for 76 yards, a 4.5-yard attempt clip. Jonathan Taylor, 21 for 70. Jags ultimately held him to 3.3 after about 5 yards a carry in the first half. Credit to DJ Dallas, his first 2 carries as a Jag, 2 for 21. He got 10.5 yards a pop out of that. Receiving today, Parker Washington, another 100-yard game. game. 8 catches on 10 targets, 115 yards, 3 for 54 for Brenton Strange. Brian Thomas holding 4 for 39 and 6 for 39 from Jacoby Myers. Tyler Warren led the way, 5 grabs for 43 yards on the other side. Myers, of course, credited with the lost fumble on the hook and lateral play. Foye Oluokun had 12 total tackles, 4 of those solos. Sacks today, 1 each from Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen in the game. Cam Little perfect on his kicks, 3 of 3 on field goals and 2 for 2 on extra points. And Logan Cook averaged 63.5 yards punt. Now, that's not net because he did have 1 touchback, but that's still booming it on his 2 attempts today.
Getting after it. And the Jaguars get the job done in Indianapolis, 23-17. We're back in a moment with the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. Jaguars win it 23-17 in Indianapolis. This is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Jags fans, this season make your game day even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium, and then you can enjoy even more with the Al's Pizza Pickoff promo after the game. When the Jaguars get 2 interceptions in one game, you'll score 50% off one pizza, any size you want, for 48 hours after the game. Just tell them you want the Jags Pick promo when you order. Up your game and your pizza with Al's at the stadium or any of their 5 locations. NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you think of barbecue in Jacksonville, it's got to be Bono's Pit Barbecue. For over 75 years, Bono's has been smoking Jacksonville's favorite barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So go to bonosbarbecue.com or call their fantastic catering department at 904-332-7427. That's 904-332-7427. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios. Jaguars win it 23-17 in Indianapolis. And time for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. And Brian, you get a vote and a half.
Ooh, I love it.
To break any deadlines.
I love it. We'll see if we can do it.
I'm going to start with Parker Washington. 8 catches, 115 yards. He's just so dynamic once he has the ball in his hands. He lets everything just kind of go in front of him. Doesn't really run to the contact, just lets people run around him and then can cut back and go across the field 45 yards and find an opening. He is a punt returner, of course, by trade, so it kind of feels that way in some of the receptions. I stole that line from you. You said that earlier.
Did.
But you know
absolutely did.
That run after catch ability was big for this team, so I'm going Parker.
All right, you want to?
No, go ahead.
Then you're going to get outvoted because I'm going with Parker as well. I'm not like today. I didn't think there were too many standout candidates. A couple of guys made one big play along the way. He made a lot of plays over the course of the game. I couldn't give it to Trevor Lawrence after the end zone pick today, although he produced 2 touchdowns as well for the team. Foye had a lot of tackles, and I didn't feel like he was the one central reason why they were able to shut down Jonathan Taylor in the second half, so I'm going to vote for Parker as well.
Okay, so I can go anywhere I want
Anywhere
with this.
you like.
And I give strong consideration to Monteric Brown because it felt like he was a difference maker in the secondary today. Alec Pierce with no catches. I mean, come on, that's huge. But I'm going to give it to Jacoby Myers for the catch. Right? I mean, we were talking about what a great throw it is, and then, Mike, you made the point it was a hell of a catch as well. Listen, If he doesn't get that catch and doesn't set up a makeable fourth down, everybody is pointing to Liam Cohen's decision to not take the penalty, right? And then they had a couple of penalties to push them back. And all of a sudden, everything could unravel, and you could be punting and giving Phillip Rivers the ball with some time. I thought that Jakobi Meyers' catch was as clutch a play as there was in the game. And so I'll give him the vote since he can't win it anyway.
That's fine. And I'm glad if he had been in position, I would have had to rebel against you because he also was responsible ultimately for the fumble, even though really that was on ETN. But I agree with you. I understand Liam Cohen's explanation. I just don't like it. He goes, we knew we could get a yard. Well, you didn't get a yard. You ran it on the next play. You got stuffed, and then you had back-to-back penalties. And all of a sudden, you're looking at 3rd and 11. This is going to be the thing that leads Sunday Night Football's pregame show about this decision and letting that game get away if it collapses.
Let's be clear, though. That was ETN who took his eyes off the ball. That was his fumble. So Jakobi Meyers did not have the most impactful game, although he had a couple of good catches. But that one catch was huge because it put the Jaguars in a position to get the first down and push the ball game closer to it being completed. And he saved, well, the coach might not agree with it, but I think he saved the coach from having that explanation on Sunday Night Football.
So Parker Washington is the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. 10 targets, 8 catches, 115 yards along of 37. And the Jaguars win by the final score of 23-17. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Radio Network. Plenty ahead. We're back in a moment with the injury report. Jaguars get another win. 7 straight now for the Jags. First place in the AFC South. They can secure the division title with a win or a Texans loss or a tie for either side next week. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
At G.E.H.A, they stand behind their members because they were founded by members. They're not focused on Wall Street, they're focused on Main Street. So they built dental plans with 100% coverage for in-network preventive care, with access to a nationwide network of nearly 600,000 provider locations. G.E.H.A is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You probably already know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider for the Jaguars. I've been a client for more than 30 years because they're from here, and like you, they've been Jaguar fans from the beginning. So for any prearranged transportation needs, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
It's game on, Jaguars fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today.
Daily
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. continues. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios after a Jags win in Indy 23-17. And the injury report is presented by UF Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The one of the game, Brian Thomas, late second quarter, ended up going back out there. Jacoby Myers was slow getting up at one point late in the fourth. He ended up coming back in. The ones, though, coming into the game are of concern. The offensive line injuries, Robert Hainsey with a groin issue, back injury for Patrick McCary, the right guard. How long do those last? What happens there? We saw two guys get in there today, Walker Little at right guard and Monheim at center. And the Colts decided to bring the house most of the day and blitz Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars offense with those two players out there. And we'll see what the long-term effect is for the two starters. I don't know.
They got, 2 sacks was what the Colts finished with. They had the one that ended the drive.
Yes,
they had 2 on that drive.
2. Yep.
One where
back to back.
He got caught. Yeah, he got caught escaping the pocket, but short of the line of scrimmage. I think they missed Hainsey not from the physical sense, because I thought Monheim was up to the challenge, but just from the ability to determine what was happening. Lou Anarumo was praised widely in this building before the first Colts game and then this week for the way that he mixes things up and changes patterns week to week. And it looked like he had Monheim guessing a lot on what was coming. They hit him a bunch. What did he get? 6, 7
I think it was
hits?
8 quarterback hits.
Yeah.
7
Yeah,
officially.
7 quarterback hits a week after he got hit, 14 times by the Broncos? So getting Hainsey back would be big.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and especially with Jeffrey Simmons
coming
lurking
next week.
I mean, I think personally he's as good as any defensive tackle in the National Football League. He might be the clear-cut number one. And they're playing hard as well, But, hey, Jags are finding a way. They can't complain about the injury bug because they've been pretty clean on that all year. Even with Travis Hunter going out for the season, most teams have significantly greater number of players on injured reserve than Jacksonville does.
They've done a really good job, JP, of finding guys and putting them in a role, whether it's Jarian Jones or Monteric. Greg Newsome comes in, and he has at least gotten his feet underneath him and playing solid football right now. They've mixed and matched at safety, too. Antonio Johnson's become a heck of a player in the absence of Eric Murray. So they've done a nice job. We'll see if they can continue doing that, though.
Yeah, you'd love to have Jordan Lewis. He's done for the year, though, but there are those guys, as you mentioned, they've had a lot of time on task in big moments, in big games, and really on both sides of the football.
It's funny. I sent you the interview that I did with Jarian Jones in the locker room this week, and the first word he started with was confident. I'm confident, totally confident. And then he goes out and does that again. I mean, he's a guy who has evolved into a really nice player. Just a really solid all-around player.
And he's one of those guys. He's confident when he wakes up in the morning. I
just love it.
Is like that.
I love it.
So, look, he's playing well, and he should be confident. But he's that kind of guy that no matter how he's playing, he's going to exude that.
We'll return in just a moment and look ahead to next week. The Jaguars host the Tennessee Titans in Week 18 with the division title on the line. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank. Advantage you. Member FDIC. And the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
My best friend Riley loved going to the beach. She was a great swimmer. Then one day, during a swim meet, she collapsed. She had cancer, Hodgkin lymphoma. She spent months getting care at UF Health. The doctors did so much, even put her in a clinical trial. I wish we could go to the beach right now, but she's working.
Out of the water.
She's on lifeguard duty. Maybe we'll head out when her shift is done.
UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect.
When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it.
You make power plays.
Aim for fences and go for end zones. You believe that your moment is now.
At Farah and Farah, we deliver game day energy 24/7.
If you've been injured, put our force to work for you. Jacksonville.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Final moments of Jaguars postgame, brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios. Jaguars next week host the Tennessee Titans, and the division is on the line. A win for the Jags secures the AFC South title. A loss or tie for the Texans secures the AFC South title. The Texans host the Indianapolis Colts next week. The Jags can tie also and get it done. It all comes down to Week 18 now, and Tennessee's record not great. But, Mike, you mentioned it. They're playing a little better football over the last few weeks. Need this place packed on Sunday. No matter the time of the game, we'll find out most likely tonight the Week 18 schedule. But considering both games matter to each other, you can expect them to be at the same time, either 1 or 4 o'clock. But then you throw in the scenario of the number 1 seed being in play with the Broncos and the Patriots as well. And they might have to put all 4 at the same time, right?
I mean, it depends on what they want to do. I don't know if they will feel that is necessary to go that far. But if they do, then you're playing at 4 o'clock because Denver is not going to kick off at 1 o'clock Eastern time in a game that basically will decide whether or not they have the 2 seed at minimum. In the AFC. So, look, there's a lot on the line, a lot of positioning, but the Jags have played great here in Jacksonville. Only lost to the Seahawks by 8. That's their only loss in Duval proper all year long. So, come on out if you're especially, not necessarily going to go to the playoff game that we hope that they're hosting or potentially more. That's a great opportunity to send your team into the postseason.
6-2 on the road this year. Since you mentioned playing well in Duval, they have a chance to tie the 96, 97, 98, and 99 teams with 7 wins in Jacksonville. So that is a reason to come out because this has been a fun place for Jaguars fans to be. One other note on the last week of the season scheduling. We might not know until late tomorrow night because that Rams game has implications, right? The Rams-Falcons game. So we might not see anything on that until...
It might push it back. You never know,
Yeah, well, what are the Rams? Are they at home
No,
next
they're
week?
in Atlanta.
No, I'm talking about next week.
Oh, okay. I'm
so,
not sure.
Because, look, regardless of what if San Fran wins tonight, San Fran Seattle is for the number 1 seed next week. So that game, along probably with Pittsburgh, Baltimore, your 2 best candidates for Sunday Night Football.
Right.
I would think the other one is going to end up in the 4 o'clock window.
Yes.
And then you got Carolina, Tampa Bay, which is another big one. There are a lot of big football games.
The Rams are at home in Week 18, so it's at least a 4 o'clock game
for them. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Right. I don't know though if it's not going to have the same import as the Seattle-San Francisco game is, provided the 49ers win that game tonight. I think if the 49ers win the game tonight, the Rams can't win the division, and they can't get the bye.
So they can't improve their playoff seeding then?
I don't know if they can improve their seeding. Probably not. I don't know if they could fall back a spot, but it would be that as opposed to potentially...
Who do they have, the Cardinals?
Getting a home game next week. Yeah, the Cardinals.
Yeah. We'll see. It's just when you think about the Rams being involved in... I mean, listen, the Steelers lost today, so they still haven't clinched their playoff berth to set up that big game next week. But you have 13 of the 14 spots decided. And has anybody clinched the number 1 seed yet? The NFC
No.
It's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. If San Fran wins tonight, it's San Fran and Seattle for the number one seed.
Right.
Winner gets a bye, loser goes on the road.
I was getting confused with all the scenarios.
Enjoy that road trip.
So, I mean, in that case, they always obviously pick the 2 Saturday games are usually standalone, and it doesn't have to be both teams involved in that game. It could be like last year it was the Ravens playing the Browns, and if the Ravens won, they were in. The Browns were out of it anyway. It didn't matter. So it could be one of those, but there's enough scenarios now where you're going to have Sunday Night Football where it's either win or in or that number one seed. It has to be a definitive game, the final game on Sunday.
You remember that in 2022, the Jaguars played on Saturday night.
That's right.
So you could potentially see the Steelers-Ravens be Saturday night prime time and the Niners-Seahawks Sunday in prime time.
Could be that, sure. Although Sunday night usually gets the best game, I think, nationally. Even though it's not the best records and the gaudiest teams, I wonder if the Pittsburgh-Baltimore rivalry would not push that to be the final game of the week. I don't know. We'll find out.
It's a lot.
You know what's nice? We're in. And
it's still win and take care of business.
Win and get a home game.
You're still in that position.
And scoreboard watch and maybe get a couple of home games. So
there you have it. Keep an eye out either tonight or early tomorrow for the game times, most likely 1 or 4 o'clock. At Everbank Stadium this Sunday, the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans in Week 18. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll have more about this Jaguars win over the Indianapolis Colts, 23-17. Thanks to our entire crew both here and in Indianapolis. Jaguars get it done. 7th straight win on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks will take your calls about today's game and take a look at the rest of the league. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Whataburger, the University of Florida, and by Everbank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome in. It is the Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard.
Hey. So, man, all you have to do is come in a half hour early, and we'll make sure that mic's on.
Listen, when Fred's not in this chair, I'll be here. When Fred's in the seat, I will defer.
Jaguars win 23-17 over the Indianapolis Colts. Jags now 12-4, winners of 7 straight, 8 of 9 since the Week 8 bye. First 12-win season since 2005. They have a playoff ticket punched already, but the division on the line next week. Week 18, the Jaguars host the Titans. A win or a tie, and they're in as the division champs. Or a Texans loss or tie to the Colts. The Jaguars would get in even with a loss.
Yeah, I got a feeling, well, I don't know. I mean, did they bring Phillip Rivers back there to let him have one more send-off? I would play Riley Leonard if I were the Colts next week, and if that's the case, I don't think Houston's going to lose that football game. I don't think they're going to lose either way with the way their defense is playing. Their offense not clicking on all cylinders after that opening quarter last night.
You think the folks in Houston felt the way that folks in Jacksonville felt last night when the Chargers blew it? Right? I mean, people in Jacksonville thought, great, come on, Chargers, get that win.
Sure.
And then the Jags have a chance to take the division title.
I see what you're saying.
The Texans are sitting there thinking, come on, Colts, you got it. Colts, you got them, Colts.
That a little different because I think the Chargers were more self-inflicted. I mean, you got the most accurate kicker in the history of the league misses a short field goal and an extra point and a 4-point loss. I mean, that's it. Those are the 4 points you needed right there. I didn't think they played that well throughout the whole night. I mean, there were times when the Colts played well, but the Jags clearly, I felt, were outplaying them, but they were making mistakes.
Kept tripping on themselves.
No, they did.
Yeah.
Anyway, and maybe, who cares how Houston feels? That's the answer,
well,
right?
I think that's what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yes, who really cares about anything Houston thinks or feels or anything else? It took me a while to get there, bro.
All right, there you go.
Jags today trailed 10-0 in this game and had to find a way out. They gave up the ball twice in deep in territory and in the red zone, and guess what? I mean, Indy took advantage of it. They got a couple of long kickoff returns against the Jaguars today to set up short fields also. So it felt really self-inflicted early in this game, and then they found a way in the second half to stop the run game of Indy and forced Phillip Rivers to throw it down the field. And he was not able consistently to do that. The Jaguars made enough plays at the end to get the job done. 3 second-half field goals from Cam Little, and the defense played big in the second half today.
Well, you saw Jonathan Taylor looked on that scoring drive where they went up 10-0 like, man, they're going to just ram the ball with this guy today. In the second half, he had 11 carries for 19 yards.
Yep.
That's it. They took him out. That's a lesser production game than he had here. Right? And Mike, you were the one in the pregame hours ago that said he had never had fewer than 116 yards against the Jaguars up there. He had a monster game up there last year at the end of the year. So, this Jaguars run defense has proven all season long that it is for real. There were a couple of little runs. I think I heard Antonio Johnson tell Bucky that it was squeaky, that leaky, that yards kind of got through. He had one where he kind of drove up the middle. But other than that, Jonathan Taylor, who 8 weeks ago looked like a runaway MVP candidate, was quiet for the 5th or 6th straight week with less than 70 yards rushing.
Yeah, it's
or 70
tough to
or
win
less.
it, man. If Saquon doesn't win it last year, it was going to be tough for Taylor to win it this year. But an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, he probably won't even get that the way Puka Nacua is playing. But, I mean, really, he had in overtime against Atlanta back on the 9th of November, Jonathan Taylor had 32 carries for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. And since then, he has not hit 90 in a single game. And he's had a lot of carries along the way. And you don't know, did he hit the wall? Did he wear down? Who cares? You know what? He ran into the Jaguar run defense twice. I know that.
It didn't help him.
Certainly did. Let's come back in a moment. We got plenty ahead. Let's get into the Jaguars' offensive day. Trevor Lawrence with an interception in the end zone. But then he ran for 2 touchdowns as well. Plenty to get to there. Jaguars get the job done 23-17, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Hey, Jaguar fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Join the thousands of Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Stadium on game day. That's JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jags. Passes start at $10 on the MyJTA mobile app. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. Game Day Express is one way the JTA is working to create a better connected Northeast Florida. Visit JTAFLA.com for more details.
Huddle up, MyGate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Catch epic showdowns in Cincinnati and Denver. Turn up the heat in Phoenix and Las Vegas. Support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjacks.com. Whether you stick with the play call or you need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. Book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjacks.com. Jaguars fans, are you ready to beat the heat? All season long, head to Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach, Fleming Island, and the West Side to cheer on your Jags. And here's the game-changing play. Order the Beat the Heat Special, which includes 12 of the best wings in town, and score a free milkshake or ice-cold milk in the Jaguars Souvenir Cup. Thanks to our friends at Florida Dairy Farmers. Fuel up, cool down, and celebrate your Jaguars with Mr. Chubby's Wings and Florida Dairy Farmers, the ultimate game day team.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in 1996? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle & Sons Fencing. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. That's 904-356-4821. Or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E, Jacks.com. Coyle & Sons, keeping your business and home safe for nearly a century.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Jags have stacked the line of scrimmage. They're coming. It's an all-out blitz. Rivers lets it flow. It's picked off. The ball is intercepted. The Jags pick it off. That's Jorian Jones stepped in front and ran it back to the 20-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts.
The Jarian Jones interception, the call of the game from Frank Frangie, presented by Coyle Fence. Since 1927, they've been around the block and fenced it too. Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios. The Jaguars now have won 7 straight, 23-17 final today. We promised offensive talk, and there's plenty to discuss today about Trevor Lawrence's performance. And this Jaguars offense today moved the ball. They outgained Indianapolis in the game. They just turned it over twice in the red zone early in the game. And then Trevor Lawrence, when he needed to, used his legs in key moments. 2 touchdown runs again from the quarterback today. And kind of a mixed bag for this Jags offense.
You know, I don't have the percentages in front of me, but if you have 1 red zone turnover, generally you put yourself in a negative position and the odds against you winning are pretty strong. 2 red zone turnovers, normally you're scratching your head saying, well, there's 2 possessions where we got nothing on the day. And yet the Jaguars were able to overcome 2 red zone turnovers. You had the couple of Trevor Lawrence rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. The defense came up with a couple of stops. It just, you know, the word complementary football has been thrown around a lot here over the last 6 weeks. It didn't feel like they played complementary football much today. It always seemed that there was one side of the ball or the other that was kind of struggling, and maybe 2 areas. You know, you had the go-ahead touchdown by Trevor, right? You go up 14-10, and then you give up the 54-yard return. And then you give up 3rd down and 10, you give up the 18-yarder, right? And then the penalty, the pass interference penalty, and you give up the touchdown, and all of a sudden you're down 17-14. It just felt like the entire thing was out of sync. And yet, they found a way to win a game in which they didn't come close to playing their best football, at least not in the last 7 weeks.
I think part of playing complementary football, though, is just picking up the other side sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you can't always be clicking on all cylinders every phase of the game. So, you know, sometimes when your offense has that turnover, your defense comes in on a quick change and gets a stop. To me, that is complementary football. Like, we're here to backstop you. You're going to backstop us at times, and it's not one-sided. And I think that's what it was the case today. Like, again, you know, Jonathan Taylor ran it great in the first half. Defense was outstanding in that department in the second half. Offense moved the ball without just a couple of those key plays, those turnovers, like you said, Brian. But that kind of illustrates just how much they dominated this Colts team in reality, right? This could have easily been a 17-21-point win by the Jags. And again, I'm not upset at all about the final score. I don't care what the final score is. You know, I don't want them to repeat the mistakes that they made today. As long as they don't do that, who really cares about it, as long as they didn't come away with a bunch of injuries that are going to linger. So, you know, for the most part, they did what they had to do. They punched their ticket to still being in control of all the important things in Week 18.
Good to see. And the Jaguars continue to play at the first place level, at least, to get the job done, winning in a bunch of different ways this season. The run game today, ETN, 17 for 76 on the ground, 4.5 per carry. He had 2 catches for 16 yards, held out of the end zone today, but continues just to add up scrimmage yards.
Well, and how about the fact that they were 7 of 14 on 3rd down? I mean, 50% on 3rd down is a really good day.
2 weeks in a row. They've been really good.
And this was a football team that earlier this year struggled on 3rd down, and they've really improved in that area.
Good to see for this Jags team. We're back in a moment. Plenty more ahead as we react to a Jaguars win in Indianapolis. 23-17 the final. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors before the new year? During Renewal by Anderson's December sales event, buy one, get one 40% off. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months, it's never been easier to say yes. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies, based in Jacksonville, has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com. A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit Jaguars.com/forward together.
I'm Foye Lewican from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or under the influence is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. Remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead. Have a designated driver or get a ride home. Keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Before you break ground on any project, make sure to call 811 before you dig. Sunshine 811 is a free service to have underground utility lines marked before digging. For projects of all sizes, creating a game plan can save you time and money. Skipping the call could mean accidentally hitting underground utility lines, which can lead to injuries, expensive repairs, fines, and even service outages in your neighborhood. Let's keep everyone safe. Dial or click ahead. Find out more at peoplesgas.com/811.
The stadium bathroom line. It's like TSA and the DMV merged in the waters of rush hour traffic, and you're in it. No closer to the bathroom than you were 5 minutes ago. Just closer to, well, going to the bathroom. You know what actually takes a minute? Pre-ordering an Uber so no one drives impaired after the game. Take a minute, make a plan. Never drive impaired. Go to takeaminutenow.com. From Diageo, Mad, Uber, and the NFL. Please drink responsibly.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. 23-17 Jaguars over the Colts. Jags now 12-4. They've won 7 straight, 8 of 9 since the Week 8 bye. First 12-win season since 2005, and the third time in franchise history they've had 12 or more victories. And the Jaguars next week will host the Tennessee Titans in Week 18. A win or a tie, and the Jaguars are division champs, or a Texans loss or tie against the Colts would give the Jaguars the division title no matter the result here. Very important game next week. This week, though, the Jaguars, they had some issues on offense, and you know what? Early they had some trouble against Jonathan Taylor, but they plugged the run in the second half and forced Phillip Rivers to throw it around. The Jaguars had 2 more takeaways today, and they are right there near the top of the NFL.
Yeah, they've got 21 interceptions, which ties the Chicago Bears right now. The Bears obviously play tonight. That's a franchise record. 21 ties the 2017 team. And I just think it's remarkable that you've got 30 takeaways. They're the 4th team in franchise history to have at least 30 takeaways. And the story all summer and long, spring and summer for that matter, Mike, was the defense had 8 takeaways last year. Special teams gave them 9 as a team. And this year, they're pushing the franchise record. In 1 year, they turn it around. And it's guys like Devin Lloyd, who has 5 interceptions. And I think Antonio...
Fumble recovery as well.
And Antonio Johnson has 4. Was today his 4th interception?
Yes.
Right? These are guys who were here. They were here last year. So it's not like you just imported these guys who delivered all of these takeaways. Guys that were here were put in a position where they could play better, and they did. What a remarkable job by this defense to flip the script. And as I heard you say earlier, if they win on Sunday, they'll go from 4-13 to 13-4.
Unbelievable.
And now you're also talking about doing it on the back of a team that just couldn't get out of their own way, couldn't create turnovers to save their life, and now they're one of the best in the league.
I think Chad Pennington led a 10-game turnaround one year for Miami. I think they went from 1 win to 11 wins the next year. I have to check that, but I mean, to improve by 9 games over the course of 1 year, or at least put yourself in position to do that and to be on this winning streak that they're on right now is incredibly impressive. And I agree with you, Brian. They're getting a lot more, not just out of those guys. They're getting more out of guys across the board. Travis Etienne has not been this guy the last 2 years. The last 2 years has been like a 3.6, 3.7 yards per carry back. He's been much better this year.
He's got a career best 13 touchdowns total. And he will set a record. I think his record's 1443 in yards from scrimmage. He's about 80 yards shy of that. He should get that this Sunday. I mean, talk a career year for him, and what a year to have it.
Well, there are a lot of holdovers that are having those kind of years, right? And some of them are just young guys. Like Brenton Strange, you would think is on an ascending path, and he would have been kind of breaking out under any coaching staff at this point in time. But look, it's not just the fact that they're getting that, but they did import a few key players that got them off to a hot start, and it created that mindset of we're going to be that team that takes the football away from you. And I do think that's contagious. I mean, Baltimore has been that kind of organization for years, right? Like, go back to the Ed Reed days when if you got a turnover, if you didn't pitch it back at least twice trying to run it back for a touchdown, then you weren't doing it right. And that was just because they expected, look, you know what? If we mess this play up, we'll get more, we'll get more, we'll get more. I think Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray helped get this team off to a really fast start in that department, and I think they fed off it all year.
I don't want to take anything away from them. They combined for 3 interceptions, right? The guys who were here really raised the level of their game, but I get your point. They followed Jordan Lewis. I thought Jordan Lewis, coming out of camp, Mike, he had reset a secondary that a year ago limped to the finish line. They couldn't remember all the big plays. They couldn't stop anyone to save their life. And if I want to give credit, I think Jordan Lewis in training camp convinced those guys they were much better than that. And the results have shown.
No doubt.
Putting ahead, we'll come back in a moment. We get into the special teams today. Gave us some long kick returns. Field goal execution was there, though. Cam Little.
That guy's pretty good.
A lot to dig into after this Jaguars win over the Indianapolis Colts. We'll talk a little more about the playoff scenarios ahead as well. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Catch epic showdowns in Cincinnati and Denver. Turn up the heat in Phoenix and Las Vegas. Support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjacks.com. Whether you stick with the play call or you need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. Book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjacks.com.
Jacksonville, are you ready for a winning season at home? Don't let plumbing, septic, or AC issues throw a flag on your playbook. Duck Rooter is your hometown all-star team. Licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. We're proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just like the Jags, we're built on trust, teamwork, and always playing to win. Call the team you can trust. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Jags fans, this season make your game day even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium, and then you can enjoy even more with the Al's Pizza Pickoff promo after the game. When the Jaguars get 2 interceptions in one game, you'll score 50% off one pizza, any size you want, for 48 hours after the game. Just tell them you want the Jags Pick promo when you order. Up your game and your pizza with Al's at the stadium or any of their 5 locations.
Hey sports fans, CSX is delivering big wins. Every day, CSX is on the move, delivering the freight that keeps America on track. From raw materials to finished goods, we connect businesses and communities across the nation with safe, reliable rail transportation. Just like your favorite team, CSX is built on teamwork, precision, and a commitment to excellence. From moving freight efficiently to supporting local economies, CSX is always pulling for progress. CSX, we're pulling for America.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Scoreboard Show continues. Jags a winner over the Colts 23-17 to improve to 12-4. And it's on to Week 18. The Jaguars host the Titans next week. Tickets are available. 904-633-2000. Jaguars.com/tickets. Playoff tickets are being sold at the moment as well. In case of a home playoff game, all teams that are in the playoff race with a chance to host are required to sell them. So those are available first come, first serve. So, but hey, first things first. Come on down to the Tennessee game next week. And again, the time could be 1, could be 4 o'clock, and depending on what the league puts together tonight. Jaguars special teams today gave up some couple of big kick returns. Doolin for Indianapolis had 3 returns on kickoffs today for 129 yards, an average of 43 yards per return, along with 55. And then finally, at the end of the game, we're just like, we're not even going to give this guy a chance to touch the football anymore.
Well, because they got 10 points off of his 2 returns.
Yeah.
So why would you? I mean, he, for whatever reason, and again, you have to talk to the coaches to find out who was out of position, but on the second one in particular, it looked like everybody just got out of position and crashed down on where he was. I saw Ventrell Miller get blocked to the ground, and then the return man, Doolin, went right over where he was supposed to be. So, that's mental errors. You got to have integrity, gap integrity on that. Everyone's got to have their lane and make sure that nothing gets outside. And the fact that they did it twice, we haven't seen that from this from this special teams unit this season. They've been really solid. Again, that's why I went back to complementary football. It just seemed that the 3 phases were not all in sync today like they had been in previous weeks.
And don't forget, the AFC Pro Bowl return man is coming to town next week, Chimere Dike. Yeah. I'm just kicking it through the end zone.
I would too.
Look, if Cam Ward can drive it down 65 yards the whole game, you go right ahead.
They did it against the Jets. They kicked it out of the end zone against those guys.
Right. When you've got a guy who's dangerous like that, Isaiah Williams in the case of the Jets, just don't give him an opportunity. I told JP that at halftime. I think that's been trending towards that as the season's gone on in a lot of places around the league. You're seeing a lot of teams not want to give up the big return anymore.
The flip side is you've got Cam Little, who was 3 of 3, and we saw Logan Cook looks like he's warmed up and ready to go, with those 2 booming punts. Mm-hmm. Those guys are weapons. And today, those guys came through. You've got to tighten some things up. Imagine they will.
Yeah, Logan Cook with a long of 66, average 63.5 on 2 punts today. And Cam Little, good today 3 different times, all in the second half from 34, 42, and 53. And, I mean, think about that, right? The 53-yarder, you're only up 3 at that point late in the game. And we think 53 yards all of a sudden is a gimme. It's still not a gimme. And it was leaking left a little bit.
He tucked it in a little bit. Hey, look, as long as you make them. We know he's got the leg for it. The only question is it going to be between the pipes? And most of the year it has been. He just had a little blip in the middle of the season, and he has righted the ship.
Yeah, he's missed 4 field goals this year. 28 of 32 on the season, but he's been really good when it counts the most.
Yep. No doubt. So there you have it on the special teams part of the football game today. We'll come back in a moment. We'll get into these scenarios in the AFC playoff race. A lot of NFC things to discuss as well. But the Jaguars next week host the Tennessee Titans, a win or a tie, and the Jags are the division champions. Or If the Texans lose or tie, the Jaguars in no matter the result as the champs. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors before the new year? During Renewal by Anderson's December sales event, buy one, get one 40% off. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months, it's never been easier to say yes. Renewal by Anderson's acclaimed impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, Duval! Getting to the game just got easier thanks to the new Geico Game Day Shuttle program. Geico's got you covered with a complimentary service before and after every Jaguars home game this season. Ride with your friends, ride with your family, and ride with ease. Enjoy celebrating those unforgettable moments both on the field and on the road. The Geico Game Day Shuttle service runs 3 hours before kickoff and 1 hour post-game. Learn more at jaguars.com/parking. And go Jags!
My husband, Steve, was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They only gave him months to live. That was years ago. Now, he's out there, under the tree. Nature photography is his thing. And apparently, so is catching poison ivy.
Oof, so itchy. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Jaguars fans, are you ready to beat the heat? All season long, head to Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach, Fleming Island, and the West Side to cheer on your Jags. And here's the game-changing play. Order the Beat the Heat Special, which includes 12 of the best wings in town, and score a free milkshake or ice-cold milk in the Jaguars Souvenir Cup. Thanks to our friends at Florida Dairy Farmers. Fuel up, cool down, and celebrate your Jaguars with Mr. Chubby's Wings and Florida Dairy Farmers, the ultimate game day team.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit jaguars.com/forward together.
Before you break ground on any project, make sure to call 811 before you dig. Sunshine 811 is a free service to have underground utility lines marked before digging. For projects of all sizes, creating a game plan can save you time and money. Skipping the call could mean accidentally hitting underground utility lines, which can lead to injuries, expensive repairs, fines, and even service outages in your neighborhood. Let's keep everyone safe. Dial or click ahead. Find out more at peoplesgas.com/811.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. It is the Scoreboard Show. Jaguars get the job done in Indianapolis, 23-17. Some other finals earlier today. Actually, let's just go through the entire weekend. There were 3 games on Christmas. The early one didn't matter. Cowboys, Commanders. Lions lost, so they're eliminated. And then the Broncos held on against the Chiefs at Arrowhead 20-13 to improve to 13-3. Saturday, there were 2 games, of course. The Texans beat the Chargers 20-16. That means the Jaguars had to win today to stay in front. They did it. Ravens get a huge win over the Packers. Derrick Henry goes crazy. And now the Ravens in the mix in the AFC North. Today, finals, Seahawks over the Panthers 27-10. And the Buccaneers lost to the Dolphins 20-17, so the NFC South can come down to the final week. If the Falcons win both and then the Buccaneers win and there's a 3-way tie at 8-9, the Panthers would go. If the Bucs win, then they go. It's pretty much that simple. It's really, really tight. We'll check that out a little bit later. Patriots over the Jets today, 42-10, no problem. Browns beat the Steelers 13-6, and the Saints over the Titans. Who cares? So there's a lot of.
By the way, you see what the Browns official account tweeted out?
What did they say?
Something to the effect of, "We didn't do it for you," meaning Baltimore. Like we won, but
Right.
don't think we did it for you. Don't get it twisted here.
But this is the fun part, right? When you're looking at the scoreboard, watching a bit, seeing who's there. There was a scenario where everybody would have been in and pretty much secured after this weekend, and it wouldn't have made it obsolete. There would have been some seeding things next week. But now there's some actual win and in games next week.
Yeah, big time.
Division titles.
Those are fun, especially when you're not involved in it. I mean, it's scoreboard watching from this position that the Jags have been in is fantastic. And really, everybody could probably do this to some degree, but final drive against Cincinnati, we know they blew the call. If they don't blow that call, and who knows if the rest of the season plays out the same
you could
way.
do that. You could do that with the Houston game too. If you stop them once, right? You have them on
but
3rd
they
and 10.
did
They're
stop
7.
Cincinnati.
Agreed.
That's the thing. It was a 4th down, and there's none of the what might have happened after that. I saw somebody talking about some San Francisco 49er fan tweeted out like a week ago. What would have happened if this phantom penalty against the Niners happened? Trevor Lawrence had thrown an interception on the play. But it's the middle of the 3rd quarter, and the Jags were winning the game. Who knows what would have happened at that point in time? So. It is what it is. It's nice. It's a great issue or problem or situation to be in to wonder what might have been to have the number 1 or number 2 seed if they in fact end up with the number 3 seed.
That we're even talking about it.
I mean, right? That's what I'm
Liam
saying.
Cohen's
It's
first
phenomenal.
season. I mean, if you would have told me 9 and 8, and you go to the final Sunday of the season waiting for a chance to win the division or to make the playoffs, I would have told you, I'll take it.
That's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
That's it. I picked them to go 8-8 going into the final week of the season, and to go 5-1 in the division, though. That was the key. And if they win next week, that's exactly what they've done.
And they've never won 5 games in the AFC South.
Isn't that nuts?
They went 4-2 4 times. And that's the best they've done, and they've got a shot to go 5-1.
And really, the way it all played out, I mean, 6-0 is sitting right there for them, and we'd be in position right now, probably as the number 1 seed. But hey,
could rest guys next week.
You might be able to do. You might still have to win to lock it up, but we'll see how it goes.
By the way, there's one game, actually 2 games going on right now. One nobody cares about. The other one, the Eagles over the Bills, 13-0 at halftime. Josh Allen, 7 of 10 passing, 90 yards in the losing effort so far. Hurts with a touchdown pass. Barkley's run for 51. Both those teams, of course, playoff bound. So the Bills right now, especially if they win, they'll have a game up, and next week could secure that number 5 seed in the AFC playoffs.
I like finding a way to win when it doesn't seem like you played your best football and you get it done. And this may be an important day for them because the last 3 weeks they've had at least a 14-point lead in the 4th quarter, the entire 4th quarter. I mean, they had been cruising against the Colts, the Jets, and then last week didn't feel like they were cruising against the Broncos, but they had a 2-touchdown lead the entire 4th quarter. Today they had to sharpen up a little bit and find a way to make some plays when plays were needed.
Yeah, I don't know if they really took them for granted, but this does kind of refocus you.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what? They're not going to the playoffs. They could have had you. Liam Cohen can use that this week. Get them ready.
The loss in Houston refocused them for sure.
No doubt.
And then the poor showing with the 4 turnovers in Arizona refocused them as well.
Would they have been or on a winning streak to this point had they won that Houston game? I really don't know the answer
It
to that.
changed the whole dynamic of
It
the
really
the
did.
team. And
you
both
remember
teams.
Both teams. It really did.
We talked about it in here afterwards. Like, this was the week for Liam Cohen, first-year head coach, to get his team back on track. Could he do it? Did he do it?
In a huge way.
In a big way.
Yeah.
That, I think no matter where this season ends, I think we'll look back at that week with that terrible loss in Houston where they blew the 4th quarter lead and say that was the point where this team adopted that coach's mentality, personality. He took it.
And realized how good they can be if they didn't beat themselves.
Yeah.
So here they are.
There were a couple of tight games after that too. Obviously, but they found a way to win those games.
You know what? Kansas City won a lot of close games when they were winning 3 Super Bowls under Mahomes. I mean, you win close games if you're a good football team. You figure out a way to make more plays.
11 last year, 11 one-score games.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that the NFL record for most one-score games?
For Minnesota, maybe.
I thought
Minnesota
Kansas City
played
had
a
11
ton of
last
one-score
year.
games last year.
Yeah, but Kansas City's number
Kansas
6 in my
City
head
was
is 11.
undefeated. Yeah. They were undefeated.
Maybe the best undefeated mark, but I know Minnesota played a ton of them. Denver had a bunch of them this year.
Yep.
They were at one point, I think they were 10-2 prior. And so now 11-2 likely because of the Christmas night game.
Hey, there's no AP poll coming out, so just win the football
isn't that
game.
nice?
I like that.
I mean, if you want to look at the power rankings, you'll enjoy them.
You can look at them all you want.
Right.
They don't matter.
I've never considered power rankings on any of my shows.
All right, so let me ask you this. Who's the best team in the NFL right now?
Why not the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I guess what I'm saying is that, listen, the two teams that I think everybody thought were the best were the Seahawks and the Rams, and maybe they are, and maybe the Niners because of their offense.
Maybe the
put
Patriots.
Up there. Yeah, maybe so. But, I mean, when you look at what the Jaguars have done, you at least have to throw them in the conversation. Sure. I don't think there's anybody out there that you say, well, I don't want to play them. I mean, you could point and go, well, the Houston defense is really tough, and Josh Allen is a beast when he gets rolling. But I don't think you look at the AFC and say, well, that team's far and away the best team. Not when the Jaguars go to Denver and do what they did last week.
Right. It's everything's open. We'll see what happens next week.
Victory
Jaguars.
Monday.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
No, I'm saying to you, Victory Monday. You got
Absolutely.
your t-shirts ready?
Oh yeah.
It depends on my travel arrangements, but I'm thinking I'll be able to make it tomorrow for that 10 to noon with Tony Smith and David Garrard.
You have travel arrangements.
Yeah, I got to drive in from home.
You got a limo driving you now since the Jags are in the playoffs?
No, I'm just wondering because sometimes travel arrangements keep you from doing your job.
Fair. 10 o'clock is the show on 1010XL. You guys
You're an
are
instigator, Dempsey. I love you.
Jags AM tomorrow?
10-ish.
Okay.
10-ish.
10-ish, anyone?
10-ish.
Yeah. Jags happy hour. Pete Prisco, Austin Lane, if he can get back as well. And that's at 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock, yeah. I host that show.
Sure,
I should
why
know
not?
what it is. Yeah.
It's a hard 4 though. It's not ish.
We didn't know ish.
4-ish.
We do it at 4 o'clock sharp.
I appreciate that about you.
Yeah. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy New Year, guys.
Same to you.
12-4. Who would have thunk it?
Wow. 1 to go. And then the playoffs.
Let's do it.
You want to be here, folks. You want to be here next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Be here Sunday. That'll do it for the Scoreboard Show. Thanks to our entire crew, both here and in Indianapolis. Jags win it 23-17. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.